Winter is a hard time for birds. The days are shorter, the ground is harder, and it takes more effort for them to find food and water. For many of our garden birds, our gardens and green spaces can be a real lifeline. The food and the bird baths that they find within them could be the difference as to whether they make it through the day or not. But our feeders and our bird baths need a little care from us too. Seeds can go mouldy, our feeders can get dirty, and unfortunately this can make our birds quite poorly. But cleaning bird baths and bird feeders is quite simple, and it could take a matter of minutes. So come with me, let's talk through how to clean our bird feeders and bird bath. Once a week you want to take your bird feeders down, ready for a simple clean. So I've got my bird feeders ready, I've got my brushes ready, and I've got some warm soapy water. You can use disinfectants and you can find them in some of our nature discovery centres, but it isn't always needed. And if you do use disinfectant, do make sure it's completely off your feeders and your bird baths so that it doesn't contaminate the food and the water that the birds are consuming. So I've emptied the old seed. I'm just going to dunk them in the water. You can wear gloves too. I can't locate mine right now, but just with I've got a bottle brush here. What I would say is you don't want to use the brushes that you use for your bird feeders. Make sure you don't use them for anything else. Keep them for your bird feeders. They do need regular cleaning, like I've mentioned already. Yeah, just give them a little scrub. Some of our bird feeders are quite easy to take apart, especially the metal ones. Others are not so easy, but so that's why a bottle brush is quite good at getting in and removing all the dirt, the old seed residue that's in there. And then I'm just going to let that soak. And I'll clean my other ones whilst I've got all this ready. You can let them dry out and leave them for a little while, but or I've just got a tea towel that I keep aside for my bird cleaners. So I'm just going to give it a quick dry so that I can get them topped up and the job is done even quicker. And then we're just going to pop them out. So you want to ideally place your bird feeders a bit of a distance away from fences and in sheltered spots. So underneath trees is great. Obviously quite difficult this time of year. A lot of our trees have lost their leaves, but I'm going to pop mine back on the hook here because the birds seem to love it here. We also don't want to forget about our bird bath. So this one's been a bit neglected. It's been at the bottom of the garden, so we're going to give it a good clean and get it ready for some fresh water. So we're just going to tip out the water to begin with. And going back in with some hot soapy water. If you can use disinfectant like the bird feeders, sorry, but just be extra vigilant that there is no residue left on your bird feeder. I've seen it before where disinfectant has been used and birds haven't come back to that bird bath in a while. So it could have been the residue on that has been left, or it could just be getting used to there being fresh water in that bird bath again. That probably took less than 10 minutes and it's going to really help our feathered friends across the county. The Wildlife Trust are running 12 Days Wild at the moment, so why not make this one of your activities on one of those days? As well as that, Essex Wildlife Trust is running a Nature Neighbours campaign trying to encourage house sparrows back in our gardens across the county. So I'll leave links for both of those in the description. Thank you for watching.